On November 9th, 1965, it was a cold November evening, about 5:15 or so, and rush hour traffic was in full swing. There were estimated to be about 800,000 people below the streets of New York riding the subway when the power went out all across Manhattan. In fact, much of the East Coast lost power. About 30 million people went for anywhere between 6 and 11 hours without power. As you can imagine, on your way home, riding the subway and all of a sudden everything being completely pitch black, wondering if this is going to be something that lasts for 5 minutes or 5 hours or 5 days. There was some serious panic. A lot of people didn't know what to do. There was pushing and shoving, and as everybody began to realize that this was not something where it was going to be fixed quickly, they started finding their way back out onto the streets, out of the subway. And along with all of the other residents of New York City, it seemed that everyone looked up. It was a beautiful, clear night sky. The moon was full, and for the first time in 2 to 3 generations, New Yorkers were able to look up in the middle of Manhattan and see the stars, to see Saturn and Jupiter, Orion. It was a sight that none of them had seen in the middle of New York, and it was awe-inspiring. It was one of those moments that even now people look back on who are there to witness it as something to remember. Something where everything seemed to be going wrong in that moment. People were having to walk miles and miles and miles over many of the bridges that crisscross New York in order to get home. And yet in that moment, people looked up. In that moment where chaos seemed to reign and everybody was looking for candles and lighters and trying to figure out what in the world was going on, people looked up. People stopped what they were doing and noticed something that had been missing from their lives for generations.